Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, Yourwolfsdengaming here in the wonderful world of video games and technology, and today we're going to be reviewing Shu for the PC. And I have just one question for you, ladies and gentlemen. Do bird people even wear shoes? The real question is, could I have come up with a better joke at 4 AM? Probably not. Let's just get into the review. Welcome to the world of the bird people. You play as Shu, and after a terrible storm destroys Shu's village, it's up to Shu to platform his way to victory, rescue stranded villagers, and stop the devastating storm from reaping havoc. But the question remains, is Shu worth your time? Let's find out. In Shu, you play as a cute bird, owl, possibly, person named Shu, coincidentally when your village is suddenly attacked by a terrible storm. It's up to Shu to platform around a nice little 2.5D platformer while dodging obstacles, saving villagers, and using unique powers granted by said villagers to help you save your people and stop the terrible storm once and for all. The basic gameplay is the platforming, and in the world of Shu and the strange bird people who look more and more convincingly like Owl Boy, it's not bad. Its platforming is similar to Dust and Elysian Tale, but with smaller character and with puzzles and quickish reflexes from games like On Rusty Trails, in the sense that along the way, you'll gather villagers who grant you unique abilities. Similar to how the suit and On Rusty Trails granted the ability to stand on different platforms and be injured by different things. Some of these abilities include standing on water and hovering in certain areas. The game is split up into a series of worlds. With each world, you'll be introduced to an intro level with villagers, and running to the right level and avoiding a big huge scary cloud with the face of Alec Baldwin level, / sections with the game mixing it up from time to time. The worlds are broken up mostly by theme, with a nice cohesion between levels, from abandoned ruins to a beautiful village by a beach, with a total of 15 levels to explore. The 2 new villagers you find in each world will grant Shu to use unique abilities that allow you to platform through the levels in different ways, often combining the skills of each character towards the latter levels of the worlds in order to increase difficulty. I say that the villagers grant you unique abilities because Shu, Owl Boy meets the bird person from Rick and Morty, doesn't actually gain these abilities, and the game takes advantage of that by having certain sections of the world only being platformed by Shu, rather than Shu and the 2 stranded villagers he finds. It could be seen as another gameplay gimmick, but it's not actually that bad. The levels make sure to gradually increase platforming difficulty, so you never feel too overwhelmed by any one challenge, and that difficulty ramp is nice and smooth up until the last level, which asks you to take everything you've learned and put it to the test. Finally, there's the Scary Storm with Alec Baldwin face sections, which take everything you've learned about that particular world, its puzzles, its traps, and its villager powers that it introduces and throws it all at you as you're being chased by a bluish-purple storm that reminds me slightly of the color of Ivan Ooze from Power Rangers. They're a nice touch that really help to speed up certain sections of the game and test the player's skill. The beginning level of each world gradually steps you into the world's puzzles, and makes sure to step you up higher and higher as the level progresses, making its platforming feel nice and simple. Each level has a series of checkpoints that automatically refills your lives counter to 5, and they're fairly plentiful in most worlds. If you die, you have to restart that particular level. Since the levels don't go over 10 minutes, it's not absolutely terrible if you die, but it can get annoying. The platforming overall is simple and easy to grasp. A few gripes of the game is the hitbox is either too forgiving or not forgiving enough. One particular section in the last level, for example, I died to at least several times because the platform's hitbox extended beyond the actual platform, leading me to die a lot because I kept hitting the empty void near the platform, but the game insisted I was hitting the platform. There's only a few moments like this, but it really makes the player question how many of the deaths were really his or her fault, and not just the game's. Especially in some aspects where you die because you had to wait for a platform to do something to jump on it, and while you were waiting, Ivan Ooze, Alec Baldwin, Scary Cloud, Monster Man murdered you, and you couldn't do anything because you didn't get to the transforming platform at the perfect moment, because that time at the checkpoint you respawned at. But yeah, let's see some platforming. You know, minus those few gripes. You also have some collectibles to pick up and whatnot. You have butterflies. Why? Who knows? And you have baby bird owl things. You don't get anything for collecting either except some achievements and whatnot and the feeling of accomplishment if you really just don't like butterflies. You do get medals at the end for collecting X number of butterflies, and the game's fairly lenient on not needing to collect all 400 butterflies to get the gold medal, which is actually kind of cool, honestly. I don't know how many other games that would reward me for just getting close enough to something. That's cool. You also have a time trial mode that allows you to time yourself in levels once you've beaten them once against other players. A nice touch for players who like that sort of thing, and while it's not my cup of tea, I can certainly see the appeal. I mean, I got like 39th place in the second level. I don't know how many people have actually bought the game, but, you know, 39th place ain't terrible. Visually, the game's quite pretty to look at. The 2.5D style makes the character and backdrop stand out from the 3D levels, and is really just a very beautiful game to look at. The animations are also quite nice, if a bit low frame, and the levels visually hold a nice appeal to them, with the character design being pretty to look at. I wish the game was zoomed in slightly more to see more detail on the characters, but the game looks great other than that, using lighting techniques to make the game look better and possibly hide away from the low-res textures. Audio-wise, the music's great. I can't really think of any track that played too often or felt too long or too dull. It's not completely memorable, but it's not bad at all. It's the kind of music you wouldn't bang your head to, but it fits the game quite nicely. As for the controls, they're great with the controller, and that's the only way I tested the game because that's how I play platformers. If you don't want to insist upon playing a 2D platform with a keyboard because you're a madman, you have the option to rebind both keys, which is actually sort of rare for 2D platformers, so props to the developer for that, I guess. It doesn't make me like keyboards for 2D platformers anymore, but your opinion may vary. It's also interesting that they offer configuration for Xbox 360, Xbox One, and PS4, and custom controller configuration options. You can't customize the default profiles, but you have 2 custom profiles for either keyboard and controller that you can configure and switch around. Really cool, honestly. As for the settings, they're not bare bones as some of the other platformers we've played, but it's not Dust and Elysian Tail level of customization. That being said, you do have a decent amount of customization options, including AA and AF, if that's your thing. Overall, I enjoyed my time with the game for the 2 to 4 hours that I played it. It's simple, easy-to-grasp platformer that gets most things right. It doesn't break the mold for 2D platformers, and, you know, it doesn't do anything crazy new, but it will certainly scratch an itch if you've been hankering to play a 2D platformer recently. This has been Yourwolfsdengaming, taking a look at Shu for the PC, and I hope you all had a wonderful time listening to my beautiful, beautiful baby voice, and listening to my terrible joke about shoes. I apologize for that really terrible, really forced pun. I'm very sorry for it. Very, very sorry. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and if you want to subscribe, subscribe. If you like the video, you can do that. If you don't, you can dislike it. If you want to comment, you can do that. I don't know why I'm telling you what you can do. You should do it. Because you love me. Anyway, have a good one, ladies and gentlemen. I said I was going to review Dave Infamy, and I was. But, then I got this game, so... yeah. So Dave Infamy's coming up next. I promise. It will happen. Eventually. Have a good one, ladies and gentlemen. See you later.